Before we move further into this chapter, let's review simplifying, adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing rational expressions, also known as fractions. In order to simplify, we can cancel factors. So we need to factor the numerator and the denominator before we do our canceling. And the denominator is the difference of two squares here, so we will have x plus 5 times x minus 5. Now we are free to cancel these x plus 5's. And we are left with x over x minus 5. When multiplying, we want to factor each of these four corners. We will have x minus 3 times x plus 2 in the top left, 5 times x plus 3 in the top right, 3 times x minus 3 in the bottom left, and 10 times x plus 2 in the bottom right. Now be very careful as you cancel. I see x minus 3's canceling in the first fraction. I see x plus 2's canceling on the diagonal. X plus 3 has nothing to cancel with, but the 5 can cancel with the 10, and that looks like about all we can cancel here. So we will have x plus 3 over 3 times 2, which is 6. And the 3 and the 6 will not cancel because the 3 is in an addition problem. In order to add, we need a common denominator, and we note that the second fraction is 2 times x minus 1, or at least has that as the denominator, and that second denominator is the common denominator, 2 times x minus 1. So in order to subtract, we need to convert this first fraction. We're going to multiply by 2 down below and 2 up above, and the new numerator will become 2x plus 14. We'll then add the 4 on that we see from the second fraction. This now becomes 2x plus 18 over 2 times x minus 1. We note that we can factor a 2 out of the numerator, leaving x plus 9 over this 2 times x minus 1. And now those 2's out in front will cancel each other out, and this will simplify to x plus 9 over x minus 1. I include this next problem in our review even though there's a common denominator of x plus 4, because I want to remind you that we need to distribute the negative anytime we are subtracting. We need to be very careful of this. We will have x minus 8 minus x minus 6. That's where we have the trouble with that minus 6. In the numerator, these x's will just disappear, cancel each other out, and we will be left with negative 14 over x plus 4. Again, for addition and subtraction, we need a common denominator, and so in number 5, we factor the first denominator into x minus 6 times x plus 4. The second one is the difference of two squares, x plus 4 times x minus 4. We need to rewrite everything over a common denominator, which actually will just be x minus 6 times x plus 4 times the x minus 4, which we get from the second denominator. The 3 in the first numerator needs to change because that fraction is getting changed with an x minus 4 factor down below, so we need an x minus 4 factor up in the numerator. Then we had a plus 5 in the numerator, the second fraction. Well, that denominator changed because we multiplied by x minus 6, so we get a factor of x minus 6 up in the numerator there also. Now we can do some distribution in the numerator. We will have 3x minus 12 plus 5x minus 30 all over these three factors. And then combining like terms, we will have 8x minus 42 over x minus 6, x plus 4, x minus 4. Now, we can reduce this numerator by factoring out a 2. But that 2 will not cancel with anything in the denominator, so I'm just going to leave this answer as is. Here we have another addition problem, and there's no factor in common between the two denominators, so our new denominator will become their product, x plus 2 times x plus 4. Now, in the top left, we had an x plus 1. That first fraction was multiplied by x plus 4 over x plus 4 to get to this new denominator, so we need an x plus 4 multiplied in. We then have an x plus 3 in the top right corner, and that needs to be multiplied by x plus 2 to become an equivalent fraction with what we began with. Now that numerator contains two FOIL problems. The first one gives us x squared plus 4x plus x plus 4. The second FOIL problem gives us x squared plus 2x plus 3x plus 6 over these two denominators, or two factors down below. We now need to combine like terms. We have x squared and x squared making 2x squared. We have 4x and 1x, that's 5x, and over here another 5x, so plus 10x. And 4 plus 6 makes plus 10 over these two factors. Let's see what we've got next. We can factor a 2 out to have x squared plus 5x plus 5. And I notice that that will not factor any further, so I'm just going to write this denominator as x plus 2 times x plus 4, and that will be our simplified solution. In number 7, I'm looking at all four of these many denominators, and their least common multiple is x plus 2 times x minus 2. So I'm going to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by this least common multiple. In the top left, the x plus 2's cancel, leaving x times x minus 2. And in the top right, we have a 2, and after the x minus 2's cancel, we will have an x plus 2 factor multiplied in. Down in the denominator, we have an x. After the x plus 2's cancel, we have an x minus 2. And then we have plus 2 times x plus 2 showing up there. Now we've got some distribution to do. We will have x squared minus 2x minus 2x minus 4 in the numerator divided by x squared minus 2x plus 2x plus 4 in the denominator. Okay, let's see what we've got. In the numerator, x squared minus 4x minus 4, and in the denominator, x squared plus 4. Well, the denominator will not factor because that's the sum of two squares, and so and the numerator doesn't factor either, so this will be our simplified quotient. And I call it quotient again because this is the answer to a division problem.